Okay, this week you're creating a program called About Me, and it tells about yourself. It's got a picture box, 3 text boxes, 3 labels, and a button. What I want you to do is when they double click on the button, add code and concatenate these 3 text boxes into an app. When they click on the button after the user fills out their information, it puts this information in sentence format in the message box when the user clicks on the button. So I'll run it to show you, and then we'll look at the code. So when I clicked on the button, my name is Chuck Conkle. I am 49 years old, and I like anything Italian. So this here is coming from a variable, Chuck Conkle. 49 is coming from a variable 49, that text box, and anything Italian is coming from this text box. So let's go ahead and stop the application, and let's look at the code. One of the things I asked you to do also is rename this form to FRM main, which I've done over here. If by chance you get an error when you first create the app and you rename this, the error more than likely is going to run to this line of code in the application designer.vb, this line right here. And you would just have to rename the FRM or form 1 to FRM main. That might happen possibly. But if you've already run it once before renaming it, it will not give you that error. Okay? And again, this is a picture box, 3 text boxes, txt full name, txt age, txt food, 3 labels, label 1, label 2, and label 3, just to describe each one of the text boxes. And then about is btn me, and the text property for about a button goes in the text property about me. The text, the property for the name of the text boxes go again in the property for name, and text property on these have nothing. You want these to be empty. Labels, you don't really need to worry about naming the labels a certain name. You do need to worry about putting in the text property correctly. So in this case, enter full name is in the text property, enter age is in the text property, and enter food is in the text property. The entire form, if you click on the blue bar up here where my mouse is next to the About Me and scroll down to the text property, that's where the form is named, labeled actually. And the load of this one is, right now mine is start position, just so it centers nicely. Maybe change that to center of the screen. And that way when I run this, it'll center in the middle of my monitor. One of the extra credit things you could do, and we actually did this last week in the app, is put an application.exit code in a button. Maybe put a close button below the About Me so it closes the app. That might be an idea. So anyway, let's go and get started. Code-wise, once you add the objects here and name them properly, and proper text properties and name properties, and the form renamed to frmmain.vb, double click on the About Me button, and here's where you're going to put your code. And you'll notice here I'm using MSG Box. There is another version of this just called Message Box, but this is one of the older ones, but you'll see it a lot used still in coding. It's just a simple message box that pops up, and whatever you put in the parentheses is what shows up. So I'm taking the three variables, text full name dot text, there's three objects, text age dot text, and text food dot text. Those are from here, here, and here. Text full name, text age, and text fave food. My name is space end quote, beginning quote, my name is space end quote, ampersand, text full name dot text. The reason I put the space here is for aesthetic purposes. If I don't put the space here, it would shove together my name is and full name. Then another ampersand, and what this is doing right here is concatenating the string, putting this object in the string to view in the message box. VBCRLF is going to represent a carriage return, as it says here on the pop-up help in Visual Studio. And it's just like hitting the enter key on the keyboard, but you're doing it in code. Ampersand, and then, so this will be a new line, so I don't need a space. I am space ampersand textAge.text ampersand beginning quote space, so it would be shoved together with the text here, which is age, years old, and I like space end quote ampersand, and then finally ending it with text food.text ampersand period in quotes and parentheses. So it should end up being my name is Chuck Conkle. New line, I am 49 years old and I like Italian food. So if I was just to show you, take away these spaces on both sides. Let's go ahead and run it. You'll see here I'll shove together the text here, here, and here. So that's where the space comes in. One of the other, and I'll go ahead and put that back in there real quick. There we go. One of the other things too, when the app runs, it'd be nice to focus on this text box. That could be another extra credit if you wanted to throw in there to see if you can figure out from the online textbook how to focus a cursor in a text box. And it is, by the way, using the actual name focus to do that. Just a tip, it would be actually in the load of this form is where you would put it at. So if I double click on the load of the form, the code to focus would be placed right here. The code to focus on the text full name will be placed right here. And again, just a tip, the word focus would be used, the object name and the word focus would be used in declaring that in this code. And so, again, major clue and tip here, the name of the object, which in this case is text full name, and the method name of that object that would need to be used would be focus. So that should help you figure that one out. Again, you can look that in the book on how to focus to an object, or you can use any online resource for helping in coding. Again, you can Google it. Easy one would be vb.net set focus to text box. vb.net set focus to text box would be a good search term in Google to find it. It'll probably bring it up on stackoverflow.com, the answer. But again, using the name of the object and the word focus method would probably be the help for you on that one. And again, just an extra credit thing if you want to do. So that concludes how to create about me using concatenating strings in an application.